Just heard President Trump's first address to Congress in his second term, and who better to help us break it all down than our political analyst, Dr. Bob Halsworth. So glad that you were here and we watched it together. And was this what you expected?
Kind of, in some ways. It was, as the president might say, a speech like no other. On one hand, Julie, it was, the president reciting the MAGA greatest hits, you might say. The connection between immigration, illegal immigration, and crime, the litany of what he considered absurd government spending, some true, some not so true, and then finally going after woke, DEI, and transgender rights. So that was going to be, I think, very appealing to the people who come into tonight, being very supportive of him, but at the same time, the taunts of Democrats calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, and some of the sort of attacks that he made on the Democrats, not going to convince many people who weren't there. The other thing I would say is that if there was anything that was probably lacking in the speech from what I think many of his supporters might have wanted to hear as well, was a little more specifics about what's going to happen economically.
Yeah. And this is coming on the heels of quite a week.
Yeah, exactly. We've just been through, the event last Friday with the president of Ukraine. We've now had a sort of a rapprochement that, Zelensky is saying he has a plan for a ceasefire, hoping the U.S. signs onto it. We'll have to see that. We've certainly seen a lot of pushback from our European allies, and then just today the pushback, especially from Canada, about these 25% tariffs that he says he's putting on. We'll have to actually see if by the end of the day tomorrow they're still at 25%. But it's been just an absolutely...
And the stock market took a hit.
Yeah, and I think that's going to have an impact on whether we're going to continue with those 25% tariffs on Canada, because clearly the market was saying they're not very comfortable with it at all.
Real quickly, you were saying to me earlier that the president's first big test is kind of coming here in Virginia.
Absolutely. It's in November. It's the Virginia election. We probably Winsome Sears is the Republican candidate. Abigail Spanberger for sure is going to be the Democratic candidate, but that is going to be the first big political test. Clearly, it's really in many ways going to be a referendum on President Trump. Abigail Spanberger is going to talk about what's happened to the federal workforce, which has really been ground zero for the cuts across the country here in Virginia. And at the same time, I think you heard a lot of themes tonight that the Republicans are going to use. They're going to talk about woke, they're going to talk about DEI, and especially they're going to be talking about the connection between immigration and crime. Governor Youngkin did that last week, and I think you're going to hear about that more and more. ICE was in Northern Virginia today. I think they'll be down here in a couple of weeks.
All right, Dr. Bob, thank you so much.